I'm here in Yifki, Papua New Guinea this morning. Stuart is just about ready to head out in the R66, about 10 minutes down the way. He's coming back, but while he's gone, I'm gonna get his fuel ready. I'm gonna dip it for water, get his 55-gallon drum of fuel ready to go. So when he lands for his next passenger run, all he has to do is fuel and go. Usually I do not have this really nice tool. Usually I'm out here banging on it with a hammer and a screwdriver to do the same job. And this, all right, put a little bit of this on, dip it down in there, switch it around, and if it turns blue, then there's water in there. But it's still yellow. You know, I actually have never walked up here. First aid building's here. This is a church building right here that I'm walking up to. I was gonna show you in, but the gate here is shut, so let me just peek over. Oh, there you go, guys. This is the church building here. This building back here is their first aid building. I would walk around here a little bit more. Maybe next time I'm out here. I'm actually out here next week. So I'll take some time next week because I only have one flight out here and walk around on the ground with you guys. And all right, looks like Stuart's just now taking off for his second flight. Go ahead and get started. Introduce our low fuel. ITT is coming up at a nice rate. NG is over 35%, so now I'm looking at my ITT only to see what is coming up in the rate of it. So the normal start, that's good. Get a prop forward. So yeah, I'm gonna be swinging by Mount Hagen. It is about probably 40 minutes from here, and then on to Groke is another 25 minutes after that. If I need to add this passenger on with me today, let's see, we need to add in a stop. So I'm gonna hold this button down there, then I'm gonna hold it down there, and I'm gonna search for Mount Hagen. Got an extra stop. I'm going to go just at 9,000 because that's usually how the clouds work. It's best to go at 9,000. I'm at 910 on the fuel. So it's a good thing I added some extra fuel in WEWAC today, because what it's saying is I will still land with 450 pounds of fuel back in Goroka. Go over here to weight and balance. We've got one guy here. Let's put him down at 70, 910. So that is done. Now let's go ahead and put our weights in here. So we've got 154 pounds of cargo and wall packs. So let's do 150 and 44.50 for the aircraft weight and 910 on the pounds of fuel. Leaves us with 57.23 and 57.20. That's good. 56 and 65. 65 if we had to come right back in here, and 56. When we take off out of here, I will show you the weather, what I'm kind of expecting, but let's get out of here and get going on our way first. Orsby 6538, November Tango, Kilo, departure, correction, taxi. Alrighty then, I guess I'll try them in the air. All stations are Yifki 1285, November Tango Kilo, taxiing Yifki, Mount Hagen, not above 900,000. We'll leave that down so we can remember to give them a call after takeoff. Alright, I'm going to be airspeed alive by that second cone on the right, or I'll stop on the runway after that. We're committed. After takeoff, we'll pitch for 85 knots, considering EPL, otherwise we'll cut off, pull off, and shut off. 85, then 80 full flaps. Masters off, crack my door and brace. 1420. There we go, torque is set. ITT is about 720, that's good. Eyes up in front, airspeed's alive, we're continuing. And there's rotate. Pretty light today. All right, right at 740 on the ITT, that's great. We'll pitch up for 7.5 degrees on the attitude indicator and just hold it there for a second until we get our speeds up. Those on the big map here. We're just gonna go ahead and nose over. Now we're over 80 knots, we'll go 10 degrees of flaps. I'm planning on just flying over this ridge and then up the valley. You can see all that yellow right there, that's the valley I'm flying up. It's just gonna be a lot easier to not have to navigate around all the clouds that are on all the ridges. It's easier just to get into one big valley and then make your full climb on all the way out. We'll go 10 degrees of flaps. Throw it up here on the big screen so we kind of have an idea where exactly we're going, how much time it's going to take to get there. So it's 09, so I'm going to take 5 minutes off of this right here. So 52 is what I'm going to say it's going to be. Moresby 6538, November Tango Kilo departure. And let's bring our prop on back. Moresby November Tango Kilo departed Yifki, time 08. We'll be tracking to amended destination Mount Hagen on climb 9,000. Estimating Mount Hagen time 5:07. I'm sorry, bro, can say again, please?
November Tango Kilo, copied 9,000 northbound traffic.
November Kilo. All right, kind of like I was expecting here is just going to be a ton of clouds today. It shouldn't be an issue being able to follow all the ridges or all the valleys to get out of here and to get onto Mount Hagen. Let me show you. Okay, so here we are in Papua New Guinea. Those are some other routes I already did this morning, starting off in Goroka. We're starting out here in Yifki, and basically what we're going to do is you can see this river. You can see this river right here, and I'm going to basically follow it all the way past here to Wapanamunda, around the corner, and then basically into Mount Hagen by the Fire Gap. Now, the reason why I'm going that is I'm only going up to 9,000. Typically, there's quite a few clouds, but it's actually looking, just coming around the last cloud right now, it looks like it's going to be pretty clear in this big valley. So I'm going to just track right on through here, and just you can see it's kind of yellow all the way, and if I can get right on that track and the clouds aren't too built up on the mountain ridges, it should work. Let's go through what I have for weather. It's 11 o'clock right now. Oh, we're 9,000 though. Let me go ahead and pull my torque on back down to 1250 for cruise. Okay, here is 11 o'clock. And I am starting out here at that heart right there and heading over to Mount Hagen, and it looks like there's some blue along the way, but not too bad. If I switch over here to 12, these are just screenshots that I got earlier because I knew that I was going to want to know what the weather is going to do when I'm coming back. You can start seeing if I switch back and forth, a little bit of blue, there's a little bit more rain, and a little bit more like kind of aqua color, but still not really terrible. You can kind of see there's kind of a track. It's not as dark. So I'm going to just expect just a lot of clouds, I think, along the way. Maybe on my next flight, which I might film from Hagen onto Goroka, getting into there, there might be a little more rain in Kundiawa area, Chimbu area. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I feel like filming a second video for the day. So now, kind of what's going on in my head right now is I'm looking to see how much fuel I'm going to be landing with in Mount Hagen, because I don't want to have to refuel to go onto Goroka. It worked out that I was able to actually take a little bit more fuel than I kind of planned for the day out of WEWAC, because I wasn't planning on picking anybody up today out of Yifki, but I'm going to be landing with 691. So if we head over to our app, our FlightSpan app, and I said 691, so if I change my here to 691, done, I'm going to be landing back into Goroka with 527, so that's even above my IFR reserve and everything, so that's awesome. I will not have to, even if it's bad weather, have to get fuel in Hagen. Coming through this last little cloud right here, opening up, we're just going to start making a little bit of a right-hand turn out now. More than likely, we're going to be probably traveling down below Wapanamunda and then around. That's usually what works the best, but once we get closer, we'll see. It just looks like a big wall of clouds up there right now. Oh, so what I was thinking on the ground there is I finally got my coffee table book that I wanted to show you guys. I've mentioned it in other videos, but I actually haven't shown it to you guys in person. But yeah, above the treetops, as you guys can see, there's also Yifki that we just were out there. But this is available on my website now. It's got 40 different locations that I fly to here in Papua New Guinea. Cool, and I am lowering the price down to make it a little bit more affordable for all of you guys during the Christmas season as well. So if you guys would like to check that out, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Like I said, it covers 40 different locations here in Papua New Guinea, talking about like the culture or how the airstrip was built or when it was built or who built it, little things like that. So be sure to check it out the month of December. Just looking forward, this is a prime example of why you just don't try to fly at 11,000 back from Yifki. I'm at 9,000 feet, and it looks like you'll pass through here. It's all yellow, which means I'm going to be within 100 feet to 1,000 feet of the ground. The ground actually comes up pretty high up here. The clouds also go really low through there. So you leave Yifki, climb up to 11,000, and then immediately have to go right back down to 9,000. Basically, I need 9,000 to get through here. I can climb back up through here, but then coming back around the Bayer Gap, all the clouds drop right back down, so then you have to get back down. Now, you could go on your IFR route, but if you guys want to see that, for this track, it's 13,500. Now, I've got a passenger here, so now I'd have to put him on oxygen, and then it's just a huge pain. And that's why it's easier just to fly up the valleys. And if I was on this track over here, just a couple miles that way, it's 14,000 feet. So it's a lot easier just to stay a little bit lower and wiggle your way through these valleys. You can see now really easily how the valley goes. That's pretty much exactly where I'm going to be going, because you guys can see straight ahead. We've got clouds over here, rain over here, and it's clear over here. So I'm just going to wiggle my way up through this valley, around the corner, and I'm expecting more rain right up here at the Bayer Gap area, potentially, because it's usually that way. We will find out. Alright, looks like we are going to have to go ahead and drop on down, probably to 8,000, maybe 7,000, at least until we get around Wapanamunda and around the Bayer Gap. Oh, this is pretty typical right here. You got to drop back down. Once you get around the Bayer Gap, then it starts rising back up. But I'm just going to expect some showers potentially kind of off the end of Bayer Gap. Maybe not, but it's usually how it plays out. This would be a great time to go ahead and look at Mount Hagen's airport because, well, I have not been to Mount Hagen in like 2 years. We're going to be landing on either 12 or 30. More than likely, I've never landed on that small runway ever, never even been given the option. It's almost 2,200 meters long, so this is super long. 5,400 feet roughly around touchdown zone. Hotas is 128.9, which as far as I know doesn't work. And 120.5 for tower. Other than that, nothing too special about it. A lot of times we'll have really strong crosswinds there, but not much else. And let's put the prop forward so I give myself a little bit more time and space to be thinking. This is where I put my terrain on, because, I mean, I'm not really familiar with exactly these mountains, so put my terrain on. Let's see here. I've got, all right, which way? I think I might have to go all the way around that mountain over there to be able to get up into Hagen. There's just really low clouds and rain directly ahead of me. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Alright, 7 knots crosswind across this ridge.
500.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like that ridge right there. I'm gonna have to go around it, around this ridge and then in. Because, yeah, definitely no way that way. Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring our prop on back. Let's bring our torque on back up to 1250 now that we're out of tight terrain and clouds. Once we get up here to the Buyer Gap, I'm going to go ahead and call up Mount Hagen Tower, whether or not they switch me over or not. I don't think I've ever had to come through the Buyer Gap this low before. I don't think ever. Well, I'm too low to get through the gap up into there. I'm hoping that the clouds rise up. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get into the Woggy Valley. I'm thinking I'll be able to find something, but we'll wait till we get a little bit closer. If anywhere, it's going to be way up here at the end. But we'll just work our way up there, because right now, well, maybe I'm seeing some area underneath there. A lot of clouds, though, for this, not even noon now. So 5,500 feet right now. So basically at the same level as the airport is, and the airport's in like, I don't know how many miles, 20 miles almost. This dotted line right here is where I'm going to be switching over to their tower frequency.
November Kilo 15 miles, contact Agent 120.7. Correction, decimal 5.
120.5 at 15, no, from Tango. Hagen Tower, good morning, November Tango Kilo.
November Tango Kilo, Hagen Tower, good morning.
November Tango Kilo, 15 miles to the north of Buyer Gap this time, 5,800. Your circuit time, 52.
November Tango Kilo, copied, runway 12 this time. Wind is 090, 7 knots, QNH 1021. Traffic Kilo Sierra Delta ATR inbound from NetZev, Badawagi, 18,000, estimating circuit at 50. Make a straight in approach, report finals.
Make a straight in approach, report finals, runway 121021, no, from Tango Kilo. So she gave me straight in for runway 12, so we're going to switch our OBS for 120. And I'm pretty much almost lined up for a straight in now. You can see as I'm coming in. Now the valley, now we're getting in here, and see how it turns brown up here? All the clouds are just going to start rising up. Right there, just went past my last cloud. Now I can start climbing up at 6,500, so I guess that's fine right now. Touchdown was 5,300, so 6,400 is pattern altitude. But again, I'm just coming in on a straight in.
So Sierra Delta, Hagen Tower, go ahead.
Lights.
Sierra Delta is 13 miles in the Wagi through 10,000 on descent, 1021, receipt of Bravo, and requesting if runway 30 is available.
Hello, Sierra Delta, copied. 12 in use this time, due proceeding traffic, November Tango Kilo, Kodiak is on a straight in, by the Buyer Gap, estimating circuit 50. Track and report left downwind, you'll be number 2.
Understood, and we'll go left hand number 2, we're estimating the circuit 51.
Sierra Delta.
And Tower, November Tango Kilo, I can be number 2, my estimate time
500.
November Tango Kilo, copied, Kilo Sierra Delta is requesting 30 for arrival.
That's fine. By the time he gets there, I can still probably even plan for a straight in or even just a left base or something like that for 1-2 if he's clear. I'm still 7 miles out.
November Tango Kilo, copied. Report again approaching 5 miles, and you are required to make one orbit to facilitate arriving traffic. Kilo Sierra Delta will be number 1 for runway 30.
November Tango Kilo, copies.
Kilo Sierra Delta, change of runway 30, track and report right base.
Copy, 30 right base, will go November Tango Kilo. Thank you, Kilo Sierra Delta.
Alright, so there he is. He's a little bit closer than I am. He's a little more advantageous to land on 3-0. I'm not sure what the winds are. I think they're 190 at something or other, so kind of a tailwind, quartering tailwind for him, but that's fine. I can just enter into a right downwind then for 3-0. It's not a big deal. November Tango Kilo, 5 miles this time, and we'll initiate my right hand to orbit.
November Tango Kilo, call again established.
Welcome, November Kilo. Alrighty, well, might as well slow on down.
Kilo Sierra Delta is 2.5 miles, right base.
Kilo Sierra Delta, runway 30, clear to land.
30, clear to land, Kilo Sierra Delta.
About 10 degrees flaps now. Probably could have just gone into a right downwind, but that's alright. About 20 degrees of flaps now. Keep us going nice and slow. Alright, I see him short final now. Turn final. Make sure that he's down, doesn't need to go around. Go full flaps now. Call again, 3 mile final. Alright, looks like he's landing long to get off the runway a little bit easier for me, so that's nice. Falcon Tower, November Tango Kilo, 3 mile final, 12.
November Tango Kilo, runway 12, clear to land.
Go to land 12, November Tango Kilo.
And thanks for that, Ron.
Yep, happy to help. I don't know how he knows my name, but maybe he's seen a video. So we're going to be getting off the runway around the 2,000 foot marker area. So we'll land on the 1,000 foot marker, then pull off into the first taxiway. Alright, 5 knots crosswind, 2 knots headwind. Looks like the weather, if Stuart can get all the way to here, the weather's going to be great getting back, as far as I can tell. I might shoot a video on to Goroka from here as well. We will see. Alright, runway's clear, we're continuing. Hold on by. Oh, there we go. Like I said, I have not been here to Hagen in a couple of years, so welcome here to Mount Hagen. And I will see you guys next time.